A report of a landmark corruption case has come out of Singapore, a country known for its wealth and international business reputation, where a former transport minister was sentenced to jail for accepting bribes from a hotel tycoon in exchange for favorable government support of his business ventures. Stay tuned for a breakdown of the story, but told in the form of Naruto. There are similarities between what's unfolding in Singapore with the Land of Waves arc, or the Zabuza arc, which spans Naruto episodes 1 through 19 and tells the story of Team 7's first mission outside the Hidden Leaf. The Land of Waves is a small island nation much like Singapore, the perfect destination for being a shipping hub. Access from Singapore to the Strait of Malacca, Indian Ocean, and the South China Sea is just like the bridge that connects the Land of Waves to the outside world. Tizuna, the bridge builder, approaches the Hidden Leaf with a mission to escort him back to the Land of Waves, kicking off Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Kakashi's inaugural journey. Unlike the Land of Waves, whose isolation and small stature make it a prime target for being overtaken by corrupt businessmen, Singapore is the exact opposite. Having a firm stance on corruption and an emphasis on fair business practices, it's a reason why the country has been able to attract a significant amount of foreign investment, leading to a GDP per capita that's more than the US, France, and the UK. Gato, the owner of the Gato Company, took control over the Land of Waves by monopolizing all of the shipping routes to and from the small island. He wants to prevent Tizuna from completing the bridge by sending out Zabuza and Haku after him. Gato instinctively ruled over the Land of Waves through fear and intimidation by hiring mercenaries. A little bit extreme for the real world, but the rich and powerful will go to great lengths to ensure their business interests are accounted for. Ong Beng Seng, a hospitality and real estate billionaire who owns over 30 of the most prominent hotels in Southeast Asia, for years bribed former Transport Minister Subramaniam Iswaran in exchange for government support of his business ventures. Gato's ticket to maintaining his control over the Land of Waves was ensuring that the bridge could not be completed, whereas Mr. Seng's was the Singapore Grand Prix. The main person that was responsible for bringing the now renowned race to Singapore was Ong Beng Seng in 2008. A night race on the streets surrounding Marina Bay requires support from the government, specifically the Transport Minister, who is responsible for everything such as racetrack installation, road resurfacing to meet Formula One standards, and public transport overhaul for the weekend of the event. To ensure the Grand Prix received government support as well as support for his real estate ventures, Ong Beng Seng gave Mr. Iswaran Premier League tickets, flights on private jets, stays in 5-star hotels, as well as premium golf clubs and whiskey under the table. While unconventional, Gato and Mr. Seng wanted to exact their influence and accumulate more power and wealth. Gato controlled all shipping routes connecting the Land of Waves to the Hidden Leaf and other villages. In doing so, anyone moving goods to and from the small island would have to pay him. In comparison, Mr. Seng wanted to ensure that the 300,000 attendees of the Singapore Grand Prix each year would be staying at his hotels. Repercussions of their actions led to Ong Beng Seng being charged with 2 offenses, including abetment of an offense and obstruction of justice. He is currently on trial to determine his punishment. Gato, on the other hand, hearing that Zabuza and Haku had failed their mission, betrays his accomplices, seemingly using them as a tool. He arrives at the bridge with a horde of mercenaries, intending to attack them instead.
You don't understand the way of Shinobi. I merely used him just as Gato used me.
In a sense, the arc of former Transport Minister Subramaniam Iswaran closely resembled that of Zabuza. Flawed in their ethics, both were mesmerized by the offers made by someone that was more wealthy and powerful. Aligning with those higher up, although questionable, led them down a path seeking greater influence and recognition in their roles. Zabuza, one of the 7 ninja swordsmen of the Mist, an assassin that became infatuated by building his reputation as someone that should be feared. He used Gato's financial support to engage in more high-profile missions of his own, where his reputation would grow even more.
霧隠れの術。鳥水遁水流弾の術。
While their stories may seem selfish, both showed compassion and remorse when verdicts were reached. Former Transport Minister, having accepted bribes from Mr. Ong in his role as a public official, could have continued to fight the charges and potentially lessen his sentence. He decided not to, instead expressing his deep remorse to the Singapore government and, more importantly, to his family, which this ordeal was weighing heavily on. Coming to terms with his mistake, Subramaniam Iswaran accepted the 12-month prison sentence which started on Monday, October 7th. Zabuza, after witnessing Haku sacrifice himself to protect him, realizes the bond the pair had built.
Well, what about you, Zabuza? You gonna let him do that?
Be quiet, you fool. Haku's dead. What does it matter?
What? You mean you could just stand there and watch him get treated like a dog? You and Haku were together for years. Doesn't that mean anything?
The redeeming characteristic, initially portrayed as a merciless assassin, Zabuza comes to terms with the love and respect he had for Haku after witnessing his death. There are many similarities that can be gleaned from the Singapore corruption case and the Land of Waves arc. Subscribe for weekly videos. Your support is much appreciated. Thank you.
Your words cut deep. Deeper than any blade. What, you felt pain and sorrow, and now, curse him, I feel them too.